What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about 9 mega cap stocks in this video. But before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple, stock is down 1.46%. Now yesterday in my video I talked about it, how Apple stock early as today we could see Apple stock coming down and closing this gap down here just below 176, and then possibly we could see a gap fill reversal on Apple stock in the short term. Well, that didn't happen. Also, I talked about it in my video yesterday, how Apple stock breaks this level right here around 175 to 176. After closing this gap down here, we could see a flush all the way down to 170, and looks like Apple heading for that route all the way down to 170, and that could be coming. Also, guys, Apple stock yesterday and today, it's getting even more and more oversold. Now, I know a lot of you guys will say, hey, oversold can stay oversold for a long time, maybe a couple of weeks. Yes, that's possible, but you don't want to be that person shorting Apple stock right here. When RSI on the daily chart at 27, when was the last time you saw Apple on this daily chart, RSI at 27? You don't see it too often. And now, look at this, guys. It's getting extremely oversold. So I would not want to short Apple stock here for small gains. That is a very risky game if we are doing that on Apple stock. Buying the dip only if we are going long. And if you're buying calls, then definitely buy some time and always be prepared to average down more if this thing gets down to 170 or under this level. But if you have like weekly calls, I said it before, or maybe 2 weeks out, even a month out, those are gonna get toasted. You want to go at least 8 months out on Apple stock. Now, if you look at my screen, Apple stock, like I said, getting extremely oversold. RSI now sitting under 30. So where Apple stock can go? Definitely 170, that is possible on Apple stock. And then we also have another gap below, 170, 167. Now to the upside, if we do get that dead cat bounce, we haven't seen Apple stock bouncing from the sell-off since the earnings. So yes, at some point, we're going to see Apple stock getting a dead cat bounce. And if that happens now, Apple stock will find resistance where? 176, and above that 177, and then we could see a move all the way up to 180. Now somehow Apple stock, that is a $7 move from here, so huge upside. And look at the downside. Yes, this thing can come down to 170, possibly 167. In that case, if you're shorting for that, it's already oversold. So things can go your way, but you don't want to be shorting, especially a mega cap, a market moving stock, the biggest stock on earth, shorting when RSI at 27 on the daily chart, and that stock is selling out for last 2 weeks. So you want to wait for a bounce. Even if you want to short Apple stock, I would say wait for at least 180. If that is your game plan to short Apple, wait for 180 at least to the upside. Now to the downside, 170, that's going to be the next key level here on Apple stock, and just below that we have this gap at 167 right here on Apple. On Amazon, stock is down 0.81%, and we can take this bull flag off. It's not working at this point. It's a downtrend on Amazon. And now if you look at my screen, actually closing below white line 20 SMA sitting at 134. Now Amazon, I shorted today, and this one actually paid a good amount of money shorting Amazon right here, right at opening around 136. Buying those puts, and Amazon paid today because I was eyeing this gap right here, but it came really close, which is fine. That is a $2-3 move here on Amazon. This one here now trading under white line 20 SMA 134. So if you want to see Amazon going up, you want to see Amazon above 134 and then above 136.36, and then 138. To the downside, below 134, the next support all the way down here, 130s, and just under that, we have this gap at 129.84, and that level should be a strong level around 130 on Amazon. On Google stock is down 1%, and so far Google stock holding 129 to 130 as a support. If you look at my screen, white line 20 SMA 129.22. So that is gonna be a key level to watch on Google stock, and if that gives up, you're going to see a flush all the way down to 125, red line 50 SMA, and then the gap below 123.69. Now I do have a short position on Google, and so far that is green right now. Now above 130, we could see Google going up all the way up to 132 and then all the way up to 136.32. On Meta, it's down over 3%, and this stock was coming down, but especially in the morning, I caught this nice move on Meta, buying the dip at 290, 300 calls for tomorrow, and getting out at 294 for a nice profit. Because if I was holding and I was going long, I mean, you can see, guys, took out 290, also now barely holding a lower Bollinger Band as a support, 284.29 into closing. So if that level gives up, the next one all the way down here at 275 to 276. To the upside, Meta needs to break 290, and only if that happens, you're going to see a quick trip up to 295.67 and then possibly up to even 300, and that would be a dead cat bounce on Meta. Below 290, definitely it's going to come all the way down to 275 to 276, and if that gives up, you're going to see a lot more downside on Meta. On Microsoft is down 1%, and I talked about it yesterday in my video how Microsoft cannot hold 320 as a support. You're going to see a flush down to this gap just under 317, and that gap right here is fully closed on Microsoft, and now it's holding 316 as a support into closing. Now if that gives up tomorrow, more downside, and I think this is going to be a strong level to watch on Microsoft for a bounce right here. As you can see, Microsoft getting rejected right here multiple times. We had this nice, bull flag right here before that massive breakout. So around 310 to 309 right here. And just before that, Microsoft will also find support around 311.64. Now to the upside, Microsoft can hold 316. Watch out for a move up to 320.84, and above that 324.91 to this orange line, 13 SMA on this daily chart. On Nvidia, stock is down 0.33%, and this is the stock for you guys, monster among all the stocks in the market. We saw everything selling off today, including big names like Tesla, Amazon giving up, Apple giving up, Microsoft went down. But this thing, again, it was green actually all day. Went back up to 440, got rejected, came down, and now holding right here. Blue line 5 SMA as a support, 431 into closing. And this is going to be a big level to watch tomorrow. Below 430, you're going to see a flush down to 420, and the next stop, 414.44, and then 400. We also have this gap down here at 395. To the upside, Nvidia stock can break above 440. Watch out for a move up to 445, white line 20 SMA, and then a quick trip all the way up to 460. Now this one here, guys, this thing does not want to give up. Nvidia stock easily not going to come down. It's not going to stay down until we get to see all those big holders of Nvidia selling at once. And that is almost impossible without a bad earnings. And especially going into next week, we do have earnings from Nvidia, and that could, really rattle this market. Or we could see a massive pump like we did here, triple Q gapping up with Nvidia, and that gap is still open. And this is a massive gap on Nvidia, and I know it's going to get filled at some point. And even after coming down to 300, I think this stock is still extremely overbought and especially overpriced for people like us retail investors to buy and hold Nvidia. I would say around 200, maybe even 175. Those are some strong buy zone on Nvidia, not at this level to go long and hold Nvidia stock. On Tesla stock is down 2.83%, and now it's down another 1% after hour. Now Tesla here, guys, after filling this gap just under 222, not holding this support, also not holding 220, and now as you can see, it's trading at 217. Now, when this stock here, RSI was getting extremely overbought, 88, 90 on this daily chart, people were asking me like, hey, can I buy Tesla? I think it's going to 400. And I said, no, you don't want to chase here. And now it's time to load up the boat on Tesla. But all I see, people are shorting, looking at the RSI 28, and then people are running for the door. They think a crash is here, so I don't want to buy it anymore. As a matter of fact, I bought another 100 shares of Tesla today. So I'm looking to add around 1,000 shares of Tesla, and that is long term because that $100 dip, I only bought 5 calls, 400 strike for next year. And guess what? Those paid big money. They went up to 500%, in some cases even over, depending on where you sold. And now I want to reposition myself on Tesla for long term, and especially I know, these things happen in the market. It's not something new for me, where market is selling off and then, people are panicking and running for the door. I'm looking at the longer picture on Tesla. We could see Tesla running back up again. As soon as we get out of this downtrend and this correction in the market, Tesla will run again. And that is why, if you're going long term now, if you are thinking about short term, just buying today and selling out tomorrow, this is not probably something you want. You better be off just shorting or whatever you're doing in the market. Now Tesla, the next level of support, a strong one down here 200, and tomorrow Tesla selling off. It's looking oversold, extremely oversold. Look at this, guys. Lower band sitting at 223 and the stock trading at 217, and RSI down here at 28. So ask yourself, when Tesla stock actually came down to 100, I actually had people telling me that it's going to 60 bucks. Guess what? Tesla stock within 7 weeks rallied, a massive rally, over 100%. So you want to buy when market is giving you an opportunity in the market. You don't want to, just give up this opportunity market is presenting you right now. And a lot of people do that, and that's just not me. So on Tesla, big support 200. Tomorrow, watch out. Tesla can actually break above 220. We could see a move all the way up to 232, and then 244.40. 251.28, and then above 262. At some point, Tesla will look bullish again, and we're going to see continuation to the upside, but it's going to take some time because now it's at under 220, guys. So you got to be patient with Tesla if you're buying and holding long term. This is not something you would sell tomorrow because it took a lot of time. Well, actually not a lot of time, but at least a couple weeks on that last dip on Tesla down to 100. On AMD, stock is down 2.57% and finally breaking under right here, a lower band on this daily chart, and also breaking below 105. And I said it last night, the next target 100 flat on AMD, and that is possible. Also getting a bit oversold, so don't be surprised if there is a dead cat bounce on AMD up to 108. That is possible. So watch out for that on AMD. To the downside, definitely the next stop all the way down to flat 100, and that is possible. And I think it's coming here on AMD stock. You're going to see AMD hitting flat 100 and possibly going even under this big level of support 100. On Netflix is down 3%, and I said it last night, Netflix could be coming down to close this gap at 409, and that gap is fully closed. But this thing getting that flush through that level right here, 409, also taking out 406, and now holding 400 as a support. Now, if you look at it, this one also getting a bit oversold, trading under 409, lower band on this daily chart. So if somehow we see a dead cat bounce tomorrow, watch out for a move up to 409 and then the gap above 415.25. We also have resistance at 418 right here, blue line 5 SMA. Now we do have this head and shoulder that is playing out on Netflix, and if this thing actually plays out all the way down, you could see a lot more downside below 400, all the way down to 383.76, this gap down here, and then 375.